Hey, what's going on, everybody? Um, I'm going to be showing you guys a little bit of the platform that we've been working on for a while. For those of you guys that come back and rewatch this, anybody who tunes in live, I'll do my best to try to respond to you guys. And this is kind of the culmination of everything that I have been, involved in with DeFi in terms of trying to make it more fair, trying to make it better for communities, for holders, for project creators. In our journey into Control Token and Soul Control, the goal is to, make crypto last longer, pay more of the community, and to balance DeFi in the right direction. And right now, everybody's chasing selling. So this will be the first platform in the history of DeFi. Nobody has ever done this to allow for you to choose where the buy and sell pressure goes without any limitations. And so I'm going to show you guys that right now. Those of you guys that haven't seen this, I'm going to be giving you a little bit of a sneak peek into what we're working on. Right now, DeFi Mark is working on a video for this platform because DeFi Mark is the one who made it. If you don't know DeFi Mark, obviously that's Safe Moon Mark from back in the day. Been working with him for a while. What's up, Mitch Bromwell? Good to see you. Thanks for the $1 donation by Mitch Bromwell. And he is honestly a prodigy when it comes to coding and stuff, so his work is really great. So I can just think of ideas, and Mark's the one who has the ability to make them. This has never been done before, and for anybody who likes reward projects or anything, once you understand what you can do with this platform, it will blow your mind. I promise you. You either don't understand it, or if you do understand it, you're going to be like, holy cow, like DeFi has never done this before. Crypto has never done this before. And so here's the cool part. I'm just going to give you guys a little bit of a sneak peek. What's up, Tommy? OC, good to see you. Happy Halloween, guys. Hope you guys are having great Halloween. I put out a little candy, but nobody stopped by yet. I don't live in the best neighborhood, though, so that's probably why. All right, guys. So this is I'm going to show you guys a little bit, but Mark's working on a video which is going to show the whole website to you guys. We're also in the works of, we have a name, we're just working on the branding, so the logo and the branding will be revealed soon. And I'm also working on a video I'm about halfway through, which explains like why this platform is needed in the space. And it's pretty much, those of you guys that follow me, it's because selling is rewarded more than holding. And so everybody's just dumping. Nothing's ever able to grow. Everybody's like 90% of every community in DeFi is losing to the very few 3 to 5% that win. And there's like another, 5% that comes out even. So most people in every crypto become exit liquidity. And we found many solutions to balance that and to get people to actually care about the future, to care about growth, to care about success, not just for yourself, but for others. Because if you can reward holding, then you can get people to care about the idea and care about each other. And you can incentivize growth rather than incentivizing selling. So the fee structure is right here. You can choose what you want your buy and sell fee to be, which is really cool, right? So this has been, buys and sell fees have been done, but not what we're doing. So we created or discovered the ability to do reward tokens without paying the taxes. And so how we do that is we have a rebate bonus right here, the rebate. Set the rebate bonus for users who buy the token. This will help offset the potentially high buy-sell taxes. Note, this bonus can not exceed the sum of the buy and sell fees. The buyer will receive this rebate as a bonus to their purchased tokens. What that means is you can give extra tokens to cover the buy and sell fee so that people don't lose whenever they buy. So typically with a project like SafeMoon, which we all came from, most of us, you put $100 in, you'd get $90 worth of the token. Well, with this platform, if you set the supply aside and you have a rebate wallet, you can cover that. And basically someone can put $100 in, pay 10%, create rewards for everybody, and then still get $100 back worth of the token. So that's never been done before. Crypto has never seen that outside of the projects that I've made, outside of Control Token and Soul Control. No other project has given extra tokens to cover the taxes. And we're not just doing that, we're giving you or anybody the ability to create tokens that can do that. But why this is so important is typically you would never do a high tax, right? 5, 10%, maybe a little bit more, but you wouldn't do like a 30% buy tax, right? You wouldn't do that. Okay, it's not letting me do that. Some of the things are going to be updated, but you're going to be able to choose between 0 to like 90% on the taxes. This is still in the works, so I'm showing a little bit, but it's also going to be updated to look a lot better. The user interface is going to make it look super flashy as well. What a nice Halloween night. What is up? I am Truth Hurts. This is going to be a game changer for DeFi. Thanks for being here, guys. Do me a favor, hit the like button if you haven't. We are doing something very special, but the more people that I can get to join us in this mission to really make DeFi better for people, the more likely we are going to be able to succeed. So I need my old subscribers and my old followers to kind of see what I'm doing, realize how big it is, and come be a part of it. So I appreciate that. Those of you guys that like this. And I'll show you why this is so important. So that you're going to be able to choose between like 0 to probably 90%. Now, if we have to lower that for any type of protection, we can. But basically, you're going to be able to say, I want 30% of buys to go towards rewards. Now, typically with a reward project, say hypothetically, I use SafeMoon because most of you guys followed me from SafeMoon. Say SafeMoon had a 30% buy fee, right? Who would want to put $1,000 in and only get $700 back worth of the token, and then their other $300 goes towards rewards for everybody? Well, with this, you could do that. You could do a 30% buy and they still get $100 worth of the token because of our rebate wallet, which is something we came up with that I call taxless tokenomics. It's the ability to have tokenomics or reward tokens without having to pay the taxes, and on a very large scale, extremely large scale. Why is that important? Because it allows for you to balance the incentive to sell with the incentive to hold. Usually it's all the incentive is to sell and everybody's just trying to chase selling, dumping the project, hurting the project, using each other as exit liquidity, and ultimately destroying the project. But the more we balance that, the more we start to incentivize holding, and we start rewarding people with significant value for chasing the long-term success, not just for themselves, but for the project and the rest of the community. And we can balance DeFi in the right direction. This is years in the making in terms of coming up with these ideas and testing them out with Control Token as well as Soul Control to see how it works in action. And then this is kind of the culmination of like the ultimate form and solution to DeFi, which is to allow people to balance the incentive. Hey, if all the incentives to leaves, then everybody's just trying to find a bunch of people to be their exit liquidity so they can leave. But if you can literally pick what you want the buy fee and sell fee to be, then you can choose what the incentive is to stay. So right here is a very important part of the rewards, this fee breakdown right here. And I'm going to show you guys. The fee breakdown right here is, say, so 70% of the fee, right, is going to go towards rewards. And you can burn tokens, you can do rewards, you can do liquidity. And you can also have a extra custom fee where you can say, once our project hits like 100 holders, and see how on this side it shows the percentages. So the idea here is that, like, say you had 30% of the buy volume going towards liquidity, and then you had the rewards to be 70%. So you could have extremely high rewards compared to what's the bag value, which means your bag would move up slowly and your rewards would skyrocket faster than any other project in the history of DeFi. So the entire idea is, based on this. Like, typically, if you look at this, this is what most projects are, right? It right here is 100% incentive to dump the project, right? Everybody's just, the only way to get really the value is to sell. And all of crypto, for those of you guys that's been in it for a while, the entire goal is to convince people to hold when actually the incentive is completely in selling. So they offer extra tokens, they offer, incentives. Oh, we're going to give you, access to real world assets and all these extra anything to get people to buy and hold. But what always ends up happening is the value is going to always be in selling, because that's where all the incentive that people are bringing to the project is being built up into, is a liquidity pool that can be sold down. Obviously, the earliest buyers have the largest capacity to sell down a liquidity pool, and there's not enough to go around. That's why a very small percent of a community actually comes out, and it's the early buyers. The rest of the community pretty much becomes exit liquidity for those early buyers, and now the incentive of the project is gone. So I always talk about that and explain that, but the idea is, what if you could put it at, 90% liquidity and 10% rewards? Well, now you have 10% incentive to stay that's divided amongst everybody, so it's actually divided even more, and 90% to incentive to leave. And what we've done, because of taxless tokenomics, or that rebate wallet that has those extra tokens that cover the fees, it allows for you to put the rewards higher than people have ever seen them before, to do like a 40% fee, where 40% of buy volume is going to go towards rewards, and that's going to allow for people to balance the incentive to hold versus the incentive to leave more than any crypto in the history of DeFi. No one will ever be able to do this. And what we're ultimately doing is, we're not telling people what they should or shouldn't do. We're just giving people the freedom to do what they think is good. And then when people come to the platform and they want to buy, then they can have the freedom to choose. If you make a really stupid tokenomics, then people aren't going to buy your project. But if you do something that's really good for the community, like 40% rewards for the community, then you're going to have people might be like, hey, that's really awesome, because that's kind of like insurance for them, when to be like, okay, cool, a significant amount of value comes to me whether I buy or sell, and that allows for them to stay in the project, right? Depending on how you do the rewards back, because you could technically do staking or whatever. But this is really what makes this platform something that just hasn't been done in DeFi before, is the ability to control the percentages and to allow for you, most importantly, not just to do something amazing with it, because there's a lot of crazy stuff you can do here that people have never experienced in DeFi. Like, you could do a 40% of buy volume going towards a buyback wallet, so you kind of always have protection of the future in terms of the chart. There's one thing. You've never seen anything like that, right? Nobody would ever do that. You could do... and that's just a crazy concept. That's actually a really good concept. You could do really strong liquidity like we have here. You could do the biggest reward projects ever done, and you can do it basically based on a time frame. So if we go to the custom reward settings, like, you'll be able to do ETH, BNB, or you can do a stable coin, and you will be able to choose, okay, I want these to go out every week, every month, every year. You can make a minimum amount of tokens that people have to hold to get the rewards if you want. Obviously, it's on 0, so everybody would get it at that point. And we're just going to keep improving and making this better, as well as addressing any problems or concerns that might come up. Obviously, if anyone's trying to abuse any of this stuff, we're going to do our best to make it so that it can't be abused. Yeah, it's actually really exciting. There's a whole other parts of the website. So you're also going to have the chart is going to show, and next to the chart, it's going to show your rewards. So you'll be able to see that as well. Mark is making a full breakdown of the website right now, but it's going to keep getting better. The UI is going to get better, as well as I'm going to be working with him to improve all of this as we go along. So we put a lot of money into this, and we're going to continue to put more money into this as we get closer to launch. So, but the important part here for people to see is that the ability to balance this more than ever has been done before. I mean, somebody could come along and say, I want 50% of buys to go to rewards and 50% to go to liquidity, so that, half of buy volume is moving the price up and the other half is going towards rewards. And so we've seen like 5% reward projects. Technically, Evergrow was an 8% reward project. Imagine a 50% reward project. And then imagine those rewards are delayed by like a week, a month, a year, right? Then you'd have like significant value being built up that protects the holders to a certain degree and protects the project to a certain degree, that typically all that value would have gone to the people who sold the project down. But now you can kind of choose how much value to give back to the rest of the community for sticking around, or for more importantly, chasing milestones of releasing a utility, then the bit rewards payout, or hitting a certain amount of holders or volume or marketing. It's a way to give significant value back to the community that usually gets nothing, right? Usually the sellers get everything and the entire community is just left as exit liquidity. This allows for you to balance that as much as you want, and then allows for people to choose to participate in it. So what's really possible here is far beyond kind of what I'm saying. Having the ability to control or decide what you want the tokenomics to be for your project without limitations. Now, typically you couldn't do more than like a 10%. And even with a 10%, that scares off a lot of people because they get less tokens when they purchase. They get 10% less tokens. But with our rebate fee, our taxless tokenomics that we've created it, with Control Token, then you get all of your tokens for your dollar value, and you could sell. You could buy and sell and have your back value. And you produced rewards, and there will still be a very small fee. It just won't be like a large fee. So the fee will probably be like 1 to 2%, and that'll stop people from being able to abuse the rebate wallet, because if people could just buy, sell, they could drain the wallet and it would run out of tokens. But as long as there's a 1 to 2% sell fee, then people would be draining their own wallets in order to do that. And obviously you're not going to do something that stupid. And you have the ability to kind of increase that. You could set it at a 4% fee, a 5% fee. 5% is really not that bad, actually, if you wanted to do that. You can do a buyback wallet, development, treasury, all of these type of things to choose where the tokenomics are going. But the most important reason why I wanted this platform created is that this is the solution to DeFi. That's like a huge claim, but it just really is, because all of the incentive going towards leaving the project and dumping, using your own community as exit liquidity, is obviously destroying all of crypto right now. Everybody wants each other to be exit liquidity, but nobody wants to be each other's exit liquidity. It's like, I want you to buy so I can sell, but I don't want to buy yours so you can sell on me. And now it's like a Mexican standoff in crypto. Nobody wants to buy anything. Everybody's dumping. It's really bad because people aren't even chasing the success of the project. They're just trying to get other people in so they can get out. That is terrible for crypto. That's terrible for ideas. It's terrible for projects. That's why what we've built isn't just a cool thing you can do. It's like, this deals with the number one problem in crypto, and it's that the incentives are misaligned. They're not aligned with the growth of the project. They're not aligned with each other. They're not aligned with the community. They're not aligned with supporting the idea. They're purely aligned with getting other people in at any cost in order to use them as exit liquidity. This is why crypto feels like a Ponzi, feels like a scam, feels so bad. And so the ability to pull value that normally would go towards incentivizing leaving and giving it to people for staying, and rewarding them for chasing the success of your idea, the success of your community, the success of your project, allows for it's what DeFi needs right now. It's what everybody who wants DeFi to be better is looking for, is what we have. We're building it on BNB chain, but depending on our level of success, we could try to bring this into other chains as well. So it's basically very close to being done, being built, and then the second stage of this is just going to be paying for the services so that we have the all of the data coming through. So when you launch a token or somebody else launches a token, the chart is going to show your price, but it's also going to show your rewards, and it's going to show your tokenomics. So it'll show the tokenomic structure you picked, and it'll show the rewards and that you have built up. So if you have 100 grand in rewards, somebody scrolling through the projects will see your rewards and be like, holy cow, that's a lot of rewards built up. And then they can choose whether they want to buy or not, which is really cool. And then other people will just be able to see your chart, your rewards, and your tokenomics without having to go to a website or look at your white paper. It'll be on display. So we've created a DEX that allows you to create a whole new generation of tokens that the DeFi has never seen, which most importantly gives you the ability to balance DeFi away from using communities as exit liquidity and sacrificing projects, ideas, and communities so that a few can make a quick buck. We can balance away from that towards rewarding communities for chasing success for each other. And you get to choose what you want those percentages to be, and then people get to decide if they like your ideas or not. That's what we've made, basically. So this is something very special. Very special. When we used to do the rewards math based on volume, like nothing will compare to what the type of reward project you can make on here, because you could do a 40% reward project. So to put that in perspective, with SafeMoon, if you had 1 billion in volume, then it would be, and that's a big number. Let's pick something more simple. If you had 100 million in volume with SafeMoon, it would be $2.5 million in rewards, and the burn wallet would eat up those rewards. And it was just in the token. You can reward in a stable coin here so that your rewards can't be sold down, which is really important to incentivizing holding. If you give people tokens, those can be devalued, and they will be devalued. The entire point is creating a system that can't be destroyed by selling. That's how I see it. These are the main problems in DeFi. So with this, I mean, if you did, a 40% reward token, then 100 million in volume, would be 40 million in rewards. Like it'd be more rewards than you've ever seen in the history of DeFi. And I remember looking at the rewards for SafeMoon and being like, if we get 1 billion in volume, I'll get $50 for 1 billion token. It was like crazy. There's something else that is really special. There's a lot of things that are really special about this platform, but obviously it's going to keep getting, the interface is going to keep looking better, and we're going to keep, making this better and better. So one of the important things is just giving people the freedom to explore what the buy percentages going towards different things looks like. Another really big problem in DeFi that we solve is the ability to pay teams and KOLs without putting cells on the chart. So typically teams get a large amount of tokens, KOLs get a large amount of tokens, and then they dump the chart after they pull people in. And that hurts the project, it hurts sentiment, it creates a lot of bad stuff, right? So to take like 5% of buy volume and use that to pay a team or a treasury, and out of the treasury can be paying team and KOL. Well, now you're not putting cells on the chart, but you're paying your team and you're paying KOLs to talk about a project, right? If you want to do that. So it solves a major issue, which is the ability to pay teams without selling down the chart. So you do have less buy pressure, but in doing so, you can choose what the other percents go towards. And so that means the price will move up slower, right? And it means that you can make rewards move faster than they've ever moved before, and the price moves slower. And what does that look like? It looks like everybody's bags can still move up, which is cool, but their rewards are going to move faster than any other project in the history of DeFi if they choose to have a large percent of buy or sell volume going towards the rewards, which really incentivizes holding and sticking around. Whereas if it all goes towards liquidity for selling, like that can be drained in a day. You could have a sell off in a day, and then there's no value left for anybody. It's going to be a game changer for DeFi. Mitch Brahma, in my opinion, we just need the right project to see the benefits and use the program with the right influential person. I believe so as well. I think that part of our marketing strategy is going to try to get a few, big people to launch a token on this platform and show people what's possible with it. I can work with them to be like, hey, you can do, for me, I don't know what all this is going to look like, but 30% rewards is really good. Like no one's ever done 30% of buy volume going towards rewards. No one's ever done that. And that would allow for people to participate in, the biggest reward projects ever made. No one will ever make a bigger reward project than what you can make on our platform by a lot, like not even kind of close, because of what's possible. So, another thing was with a buy and sell fee, people would hit the buy fee, and then on the way out, you'd hit the sell fee. That's what every reward project is. SafeMoon, 10% in, and you sell 10% out. If you were selling at a loss, you were losing 10% still. So it was a huge loss. So I'm not going to show too much of the platform. I just wanted you guys to see a little bit of it. There's obviously more to show. So it's going to be a DEX launch pad. You'll be able to launch your own tokens. You pick the name, you pick the ticker, add an image, you can put a description, you pick the tokenomics, you add your websites, any socials, and then you launch your token, right? And then you have your token going. So typically, in order to do something like this, you'd have to find a dev. They'd have to do all the coding. They'd have to do the smart contracts. And you've never been able to do what we're giving you the ability to do. You've never been able to do a reward token with no taxes. You can have like a 1% to 2% tax and have 20, 30%, 40% rewards. So you can do stuff that's absolutely just never been done before. You can pay yourself and pay for other things without putting cells on the charts. Typically, rewards you have to sell down the chart to create rewards. But what we have is it collects the value beforehand, so that the rewards, you don't have to have any sell pressure on the chart to create rewards. You only have less buy pressure. So it actually is far better for a project to have no sell pressure with less buy pressure than to have the same buy pressure with big sell pressure, if you know what I'm saying. So that is basically what I wanted to do, a quick update, just to give you guys a taste of what we're working on. There's a lot of other things I could show, but I'm just going to do this right now. Like I said, Mark is doing a video where he explains the entire platform, and then I have a video that explains what's possible on the platform. And we also have the logo being worked on, and all of that's going to be revealed soon. And then we're going to go into our marketing phase of the platform for a little bit, and then we're going to launch the platform, and you're going to be able to see these type of tokens. Make your own type of token. How much do you think the community should be rewarded? Do you think it should be 10%, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60? You decide what you think the percentage should be, and if other people like it, they'll buy your token. You can also pay a treasury, pay yourself without putting any cells on the chart, and you can pay the community without putting cells on the chart. And so this really empowers you to create the best tokens that have ever existed, as long as you intend to do that. If you make a stupid token, then people aren't going to buy it. But this allows for crypto to be far better, far more rewarding for its community, and to actually care about the idea and the success of the project. So the incentives are misaligned with community, they're misaligned with projects, they're misaligned with success, and it causes cryptos to die, right? You lose your whole community when the chart gets sold down. You lose the incentive, the hype, the belief. You have a few people left who are hoping that something will happen, and it usually never does. Thanks for sharing a sneak peek of this amazing project's potential. You're welcome, Mitch Bramo. Happy Halloween. God bless everyone. Remember, a little of each thing sends a little to control token. Yep. That's another thing, is that we will have a portion of all fees will be going back towards the pre-sale for this. So there is a main token that we're going to be launching for the platform. And every fee, every transaction will go towards the holders of that, but it'll be based on certain milestones that we hit, so that, if after we hit so many projects launched, so much volume on the thing, then rewards will pay out. So we're also going to have fees go back towards control token holders as well. From every fee, every transaction, every project that launches will have a % of their volume that goes towards rewards, towards the holders of both the token for the pre-sale as well as control token. And so if we do well, then this can potentially do very well for control token holders and for the holders of the platform, which I'm not going to tell you the name right now, but we do have a name. And the pre-sale is currently still ongoing at seed.controltoken.net, but we're going to be updating that soon to show the this project, as well as the what am I trying to say? As well as the videos that me and Mark are working on. So explaining the platform, as well as explaining why the platform exists. Mark's going to be showing and demonstrating the platform, and I'm going to be talking about why this is so powerful to fix DeFi. And that's where we're at. So The other thing is with the seed.controltoken.net pre-sale, we'll have, a period of time where if people want to pull out of it, I will allow for people to pull out of it. You'll have to confirm your wallet. You'll have to say how much you had, and then we will send that back to you basically if you want to pull out. But I think if people liked what we were doing before, they're probably going to like this even better, because this has only gotten better from when I first thought of this. So the idea is very simple. You choose your buy fee, choose your sell fee, choose how you reward the community, choose how you pay the team. You have more control than people have ever even thought possible in DeFi because of the rebate wallet, the taxless tokenomics. So basically you can do fees without the fees. And that plays out kind of interesting. If you do go too high, you might create other problems, but you could still go higher than what people ever thought was possible without creating any problems. And we've already done this with Soul Control and Control Token, so it's not like these things haven't been tested to some degree already. All right, guys. Well, thanks for being here. Hopefully you guys have the pre-sale of seed money. Yeah, if you're in the pre-sale, then for what was gonna originally be the blockchain, it will. Yeah, you can add more to the blockchain. But we're not doing the blockchain anymore. We're just doing a DEX Launchpad terminal. So you launch it, you can view it, and you'll have your own profile as well. So you'll just be able to buy, sell, buy, sell. It's actually a really crazy platform that we have, but there's going to be a lot of room for, improving it and making sure that it, any errors or problems we come across, we're going to be adjusting those to protect holders, as well as, just giving is more freedom to make DeFi better. DeFi needs to be about success and helping each other, and not using each other as exit liquidity while simultaneously destroying the project. Obviously, crypto has potential, but it's just not it right now. And we're very small, but all it takes is one project or one person launching one good project on this platform, and it can show the DeFi world, hey, you guys, DeFi can be way better, and it can be way better for ideas. It can be way better for project creators. Right now, if you create a project, everyone's going to call you a scammer if your chart goes down, even if you put 0 sells on it. You could launch a project, not sell a single token. You could even not pay yourself at all. And if the price goes down, people are going to call you a scammer and say that you launched a bad project. It's like people don't even understand crypto right now. A lot of people, like most people, probably don't actually understand crypto. They just lose money and they need someone to blame besides themselves. And of course, you're going to blame the creators. And so people want cryptos to buy, but then they blame everybody who makes one. And there is a lot of scammers, so it makes sense. But ultimately, we need to make things better for communities, for project creators, and we need to make a better way to support ideas that we believe in, that you want to support. And this allows for you to change the incentive from leaving the idea by selling to staying in the idea by holding and getting rewarded for it. So awesome. Thanks for being here. Thanks, Mitch Bromwell. I'm going to go ahead and end this stream. Hope you guys have a good Halloween, giving you just a small sneak peek for those of you guys that wanted to see. Let me see. You guys, yep, okay, you guys did see that. Okay, cool. All right, guys, thanks for being here. I'll see you guys around. I'm actually about halfway through my video, so it's a really great video that explains the platform. And you guys are going to get a video from DeFi Mark, as well as a video from me with an updated website leading into the marketing of this, because we need to raise more if we can to finish paying it off, as well to try to onboard people into launching projects on this platform. And then we will be launching the token and then launching the platform and fixing stuff and hopefully making DeFi better. That's the goal, is to make DeFi better. We're not just here to take people's money and then leave. Like most of DeFi is just like a pump and dump or whatever. So we're trying to make DeFi better, and I think this will do it. Tommy OC, thanks for doing this, man. Always good to see you. We need to see the baby next time. Yeah, I'm not going to show my baby, but my wife would appreciate that. If you want to message me on like Twitter, I'll show you. If you want to shoot me a DM on Twitter, I will show you my baby. Mitch Bromwell's seen him, so awesome. Yeah, shoot me a message on Twitter, and I can show you my child. He's actually adorable. He actually doesn't look like me. He has blonde hair and blue eyes right now. And I'm dark hair, dark eyes, and my son is blonde, blue eyes. He's actually right now, the only reason I'm able to get anything done right now is because my wife took our son to her mom's house. She does that she does it every weekend just to get a break, because she's having to feed every couple hours. So when I'm with her, because she's got postpartum depression, she needs help with the baby. I Most of our day is just taking care of the baby right now, with almost no time for anything else. So it really makes it hard for me to get anything done. And so when she's gone, it gives me a chance to work on the video, do live streams, do spaces, stuff like that. Awesome. I will give them a hug for you, Mitch Bromwell, next time I see him. And thanks for being here, guys. I really appreciate it. I'm going to show you guys something else really cool. Yeah, if you want to see the baby right there. This is a gift from someone. I don't want to say who because I don't want to give it away. But this thing is really cool. It's like a 3D. And I'm sure some of you guys have seen these, but it's me holding him, my son, the first day that he was born, and someone made that for me. So thank you so much for making that. It was honestly an awesome gift. So it's hard to get good gifts, but that was a really good gift. So I do appreciate that, Mitch. Oh, crap. All right. Well, all right, guys, you guys have a good one. And yeah, let's make this platform do well. The more you guys support this and help me get the word out, the more that we can make this platform do well and show DeFi how different things can be, how much better they can be. And I think people don't realize how much better things can be for communities and for project creators.